Hi, I'm Mirrie and welcome back to Her Campus Nottingham. Now, 2 weeks ago, Harper announced that she's going to release a sequel to her bestseller novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, which will be called Go Set a Watchman. And of course, this is a source of a little bit of contention because actually, she's very old. She hasn't been in the spotlight for a long time, which is quite worrisome for some people because apparently she's getting older, and so especially with the death of her sister about 3 to 4 months ago, people are worried that actually she is being exploited. It may be that, her sister used to be there for legal aid, and that's now quite worrisome in the way that somehow it's gone from her sister not being around anymore to suddenly this book that she did not want to release for the last 50-60 years and suddenly is now going to be on the front page. Now, there are other sequels and continuations of work that have been hotly controversial. For instance, J.R.R. Tolkien's novel series, The Hobbit and subsequently The Lord of the Rings, his son continued them into a set called The Silmarillion and subsequently The History of Middle-earth. And basically people felt that slightly he was just continuing the work for a bit more money. He was just, I think the term at one point was using his father's napkins for ideas, which was quite sad. But eventually they all completely petered out, which was in the end quite sad, I guess, for some people. But on the other hand, he was just recycling old material, which was quite worrisome. The second one, which has also been hotly contested, would be the 2 sequels to Divergent, which came out a couple of years ago, and of course there was a movie last year, and basically they had this really awesome world-building idea for the first one. I'm not going to go into detail. And then suddenly the whole idea of the world that they had presented to us in this first book was just thrown apart. Essentially, there was a whole new backstory, and so people didn't particularly like that either because they felt that she just sort of run out of ideas and then just gone, you know what, red herring. But also, people felt a bit that Beatrice Pryor, also known as Triss, was a little bit. For the first book, and what inspired so many people was that she was fearless. She was like, I'm going to have to survive, I'm going to do this, we are going to survive dauntless initiation. So when she completely just turned on her head, it was a bit irritating for people because she suddenly became this very quiet, very upset character who didn't actually engage with the audience. Now, the third one would be the sequel to the best-selling novel Wicked. Wicked obviously is now on Broadway and in the West End. It's a massive musical. And there was actually a sequel to it called Son of a Witch. And from this, it was set obviously about Elphaba's son, Lear. Sorry, spoilers slightly. And basically the first bit was supposed to be about how he was actually going to find his half-sister, I think. Yeah, half-sister, sorry. And so from there, it really got to the point where it was a really confused plot and no one understood what was going on. So it depends to see how Go Set a Watchman is going to be, and fingers crossed it's actually going to be good, and most people I know will be reading it, and well, fingers crossed. I'm Mirrie, and this was for Her Campus Nottingham.